The competition still a day away, the students and Frontiers International were given a unique and personal introduction to civics and the civil rights movement.
Fathers of the civil rights movement understood very clearly that it was through children that they were going to be able to bring about significant change, that they were going to be able to bring about powerful change. The children were already committed to doing what their parents had raised them to do. Fight for what you believe in and fight nonviolently.
Birmingham, Alabama has had a long history with the civil rights movement.
Most powerful thing ever. Dr. King showed that you can win like this in prayer.
It was in Birmingham that the Children's March occurred. Clashes echoed across Kelly Ingram Park and hundreds of brave men and women struggled for their liberty.
You have a moral obligation to learn your history. You have a moral obligation to do the right thing. Why? Because it's the right thing to do. You have a moral obligation to carry on conversation and commentary with the old folks.
Yes, Lord.
Because of its civic history and the educational opportunities it can offer, Birmingham was chosen as the site of the competition.
Soothe what I call your historical egos, where you truly want to try to find out what I consider to be the greatest story to ever be told from an American and an international perspective.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to the 16th Street Baptist Church.
The power that was coming out of that artillery had the ability to be able to take the bark off that tree, had the ability to be able to break a windshield. It just had the ability to be able to knock young people or people off their feet.
These people were kneeling and praying, and somebody's sicking dogs on them.
It was an intense day for both students and chaperones.
The most exciting part for the adults, as they shared with me, was actually getting to, in some ways, live the activities in Birmingham during the 60s, during the water hosing and all of the discrimination, etc.
So by telling these types of stories, it's not to make you hate people. That's not what it's about. It's about to empower you and to help you embrace the fact that these things occurred.
I wished I could have conveyed to them what really was. I wish I could have conveyed to them that they were seeing, and some of them were welling up and some of them were angry. I wish I could have conveyed to them how it felt to walk down a street in Cairo, Illinois, and because a white person is walking toward you, you have to step off in the mud.
They have a moral obligation to be successful, and they're able to be successful by understanding from whence they've come.
One of the most intense moments in the students' day was to visit the 16th Street Baptist Church. It was visited by such figures as Martin Luther King and Reverend Shuttlesworth, and was the base of operations for all actions of the foot soldiers and children involved in the civil rights movement in Alabama. It was also the scene of a brutal bombing in 1963 which killed 4 children.
You realize that you have to go through so much just to gain freedom. It's not like you're asking for anything above the ordinary. You're just asking basically to be treated the same as everybody else.
I do not think that any of the history itself should die at all. I think actually that's what molds us into the people we are today, because of the fact that if you know where you come from, you know where you need to go.
Really studying, hard work, and they really putting effort and making sure that everybody's on the same page.
The next day was the centerpiece of the trip as the students all arrived to compete in front of the judges and show off their hard-earned knowledge. The students competed in teams grouped by the region and age and faced tough questions from the judges.
For the Constitution, the Articles of Confederation were created as the law of our land.
And answered them with poise.
Equal protection means that all children, regardless of race, have an equal opportunity to an education.
Their word is final because they are the highest court in the land.
Ensuring that those rights are protected, because if you let a government run free, it's gonna cause some chaos.
The competition continued throughout the day and the questions continued to be challenging.
You nailed the one about the dress code, and so I thought y'all did a good job on that.
They would have to await the final results until tomorrow. But after 2 intense days that evening, they were finally given a chance to blow off some steam.
I do want to say that you guys all did an amazing job. You guys should all be very, very proud of yourselves. All right, so on to the high school category. your runners-up this year would be Decatur 2, Samantha, Bradley, Sade, and Teresa. And last but certainly not least, your 2009 high school division champion is Nashville 2, Denzel, Aaron, and Courtney.
No matter the results, it was clear the experience had impacted everyone involved.
We the people trains and teaches young people that there are recourses. You can take the Constitution, you can reduce it in so many ways that is applicable to your situation.
As the ceremonies drew to a close, everyone prepared to head home, electrified by the experience and excited for the next year.
To be able to share that with our children, to say that I was there in 1963 and I was in middle school just like you. And this is what we did.